Hello, my name is Dr. Joshua L. Miller, and I recently received my PhD in political science from the Catholic University of America, and I currently serve as a senior policy advisor in the United States House of Representatives. And I'm presenting this research based on a book project entitled The Politics of Race in the Development of the Law and Order President. When people think about law and order in the presidency, they sometimes think about Richard Nixon's promise to combat street-level crime, the riots of the 1960s, and even more recently, the 2016 election where President Trump said that he was the law and order candidate. However, my research shows that law and order is not just a campaign slogan, nor is it just related to street-level crime, but actually is a predominant presidential power that has a history that dates to the beginning of the American Republic. This is significant to political science in the country because there is no greater power the government can exercise in a free society than the power to arrest, detain, and prosecute and then punish its citizens. So this research on the law and order presidency is significant not only because it represents the most significant power a president can have, but also because it could validate or change how political scientists believe that presidential power develops generally. Now, the research is guided by 4 research questions, specifically looking at whether we can determine an objective criteria for defining law and order, also trying to determine if there is a connection between law and order and race. Then I wanted to know, when did presidents obtain the power to maintain law and order? And then finally, wanted to know which executive branch institutions had the responsibility for carrying out the president's law and order obligations. Using a temporal analysis and process tracing, I tracked these questions all the way to the colonial era, where I was able to answer my first question, because I was able to determine in the colonial era that America had 2 law and order systems, an episodic system and a structural system. The episodic law and order system focused on punishing individuals for crimes such as homicide, theft, or rape. This is the system that we would typically associate with street-level crime, and it applied to everyone regardless of their race and class. The structural law and order system, on the other hand, meant using the militia, law enforcement, and the judiciary to prevent indentured servants and then slaves from running away. Since it only applied to indentured servants and slaves, it meant using government institutions and its criminal justice system to maintain a certain political, social, or economic hierarchy along class-based and then racial-based lines. However, these laws had major flaws associated with them, as lawmakers could not figure out a way to recover fugitive slaves that escaped from slaveholding states to free states, or escaped from slaveholding states into free territories. So when it was time to form the United States under the U.S. Constitution, the delegates to the Constitutional Convention nationalized structural law and order by adding the Fugitive Slave Clause into the U.S. Constitution. And this created the constitutional basis for the law and order president and for presidents to maintain structural law and order.